The church was quiet, almost empty, the kind of silence that feels peaceful, until a small voice broke it. God. I don't want toys anymore, the little girl whispered, her hands folded tightly. I just want a dad for my mommy. No one was supposed to hear that. But someone did. A man sitting a few rows behind her, someone who had everything money could buy, yet nothing his heart needed. He froze, listening to every word, not realizing that this one innocent prayer was about to change his life forever. Stay till the end, because what he does next will turn a simple prayer into something no one expected. The church stood quietly at the corner of a busy street, a place where people came carrying their worries and left with hope, even if just a little. That afternoon, sunlight filtered softly through the stained glass windows, painting the floor in gentle colors. It was peaceful, almost too quiet. In the front row, a small girl sat alone, her feet barely touching the ground, her fingers nervously intertwined as she looked up at the altar. Her name was Alina. She wasn't there for tradition or routine. She was there because she believed someone was listening. Behind her, a man sat quietly, his presence unnoticed. Dressed simply despite his wealth, he had come seeking something he couldn't name. His life was full, business success, influence, respect. But empty in ways no one could see. His name was Zion. And that day, he wasn't looking for answers. But he found something else. Alina closed her eyes tightly and began to whisper, her voice soft but filled with emotion. God. I know I already asked for toys before, but I don't want them anymore. Zion's attention shifted immediately. It wasn't the words alone, it was the sincerity behind them. He found himself listening without meaning to. Mommy tries really hard to smile, Alina continued, her voice trembling slightly. But I see her cry when she thinks I'm asleep. Zion's expression changed. Something about those words reached deeper than he expected. She says we're okay, but I know she's tired. And sometimes, she looks so alone. The church remained silent, as if even the walls were listening. So God, if you're listening, can you please send someone to be her dad? Not for me, but for her. The words lingered in the air, simple yet powerful enough to shake something inside him. Zion had heard countless speeches, negotiations, promises, but nothing had ever felt as real as this. When Alina finished, she stayed there for a moment, as if waiting for an answer. Then slowly, she stood up and walked away, unaware that her prayer had already been heard, not just by God, but by someone sitting quietly behind her. Zion didn't move. He couldn't. Because for the first time in a long time, he felt something he didn't understand. Not business. Not control. Something deeper. Something human. And in that moment, a thought crossed his mind. One he didn't expect, and one he couldn't ignore. Zion left the church that day, but the prayer didn't leave him. It followed him into his quiet home, into his busy office, into every moment where silence allowed him to think. He tried to push it aside, telling himself it was just a moment, just a child's wish. But the more he tried to forget, the more it stayed with him. The honesty in her voice. The love in her words. The way she didn't ask for herself, but for her mother. Days passed, but something inside him had already changed. He found himself returning to the same church, not out of habit, but out of something he couldn't explain. And eventually, he saw her again. Alina sat in the same place, her presence quiet but noticeable. This time, she wasn't praying. She was simply sitting, waiting for someone. And soon, that someone appeared. A woman walked in, her steps slightly tired but steady. She smiled when she saw Alina, a smile that tried to hide the weight she carried. This was her mother. Her name was Sarah. From a distance, Zion watched them. The way they spoke. The way Alina held her hand. The way Sarah listened, even when she was clearly exhausted. It wasn't perfect. But it was real. And for the first time, he understood what the prayer meant. It wasn't about filling a role. It was about sharing a burden. It wasn't about becoming someone important. It was about being present. Zion didn't rush forward. He didn't force an introduction. Instead, he approached slowly, respectfully, finding moments where paths crossed naturally. A simple greeting. A small conversation. Nothing more. At first, Sarah was cautious. Life had taught her to be careful, to protect what little stability she had. But Zion wasn't trying to impress her. He wasn't trying to prove anything. He was simply there. Consistent. Genuine. Over time, that made a difference. Alina noticed it first. The way he listened. The way he smiled. The way he didn't treat them differently. And slowly, without even realizing it, she began to trust him. Their connection didn't grow through grand gestures. It grew through small, meaningful moments. Conversations that felt easy. Silence that didn't feel empty. And presence that didn't feel forced. But the biggest challenge wasn't trust, it was belief. Could someone like him truly understand their world? Could someone with everything choose a life that wasn't perfect? Sarah struggled with those questions. Not because she doubted him, but because she doubted the possibility of something like this lasting. Zion didn't answer those doubts with words. He answered them with time. With patience. With actions that didn't fade. And one day, without planning it, everything came full circle. They returned to the church. The same place where it all began. Alina stood in front, her small hands folded again. But this time, her prayer was different. "Thank you," she whispered softly. "For listening." Zion stood a few steps behind, not hidden anymore. Not distant. Present. Real. And in that moment, he realized something important. He didn't come there to answer a prayer. He came there because he needed one. Because sometimes, the things we think we're giving to others, are actually the things we've been missing ourselves. And sometimes, the simplest wishes, carry the power to change everything.